Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. Saskatchewan is reporting 14 new cases of COVID-19. 8 of the cases are in Saskatoon, 2 in the Central East and Regina zones, and 1 each in the Northeast and Central West. 139 cases are considered active, none of those in the region that includes Lloydminster and North Battleford. 9 people are in hospital, 1 is in intensive care. There were 13 more recoveries. City Council is continuing to work towards annexation with the County of Vermilion River, but there are still many details to clear up. Eric Bay has more.
Another step in the annexation process moved forward Monday as Council clarified taxation for property owners that would be within Lloydminster city limits after annexation is completed.
There was a series of items that were worked through by administration from both the county and the city as the annexation process carried out. That covered everything from garbage to fire protection, policing, agricultural to moving to an urban setting, those kind of things. These were slightly more finite details, certainly around taxation.
Taxes around farmland had to be ironed out before moving forward in the annexation process and getting approval from the Municipal Government Board.
Until farmland comes into the city and is subdivided, it's still farmland. We still have farmland in the city itself currently. So that's one of the main thrusts is when will the property tax change, and there was some clarity for landowners that are affected by the annexation, potential annexation.
Landowners who are affected by the annexation will be informed about changes on their property by the city.
As you can appreciate, you pay more on a city lot than you do on a farm lot or farmland, and that was to help clarify some of those questions that have been raised by landowners that would be affected.
The city is in the process of acquiring 23.5 quarters from the County of Vermilion River. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
Border City Connects is hoping to bring some joy to seniors in Lloydminster with the launch of a new Trishaw service. The Border City Cycle for All service has been available to residents at the Pioneer Lodge since August. Volunteers take residents from care homes for a ride around the community with the goal of reducing the feeling of loneliness.
Some rides are a little shorter around the Martin Brown neighborhood. Others, if the weather is decent and the rider wants to go further, we've been able to take residents right around Bud Miller Park and back.
The purchase of the Trishaw was made possible by 2 grants from the Lloyd Health Foundation and the Saskatchewan Real Estate Association. The Trishaw was bought last year, but the launch faced some setbacks, including COVID-19.
When the unit first came in last August or July, it was bent, so we had to get another frame, and so we only got a few weeks with it last year. And then on this year, with Pioneer being on a lockdown, they gave us the okay towards the end of August that we could do that, and it just took us a couple of weeks to get everybody trained up.
For their next project, Border City Connects is hoping to bring accessible ski equipment to Mount Joy. This week is Seniors Week in Saskatchewan, and the city of Lloydminster is taking time to recognize the important role seniors play in the community. Mayor Gerald Albers called seniors the backbone of Lloydminster, pointing to all the volunteer work they contribute.
I want to say thank you on behalf of City Council and a city that's deeply appreciative to the seniors for all that they've done, and they continue to do, because seniors are a very important part of our community. They volunteer until that point that they just can't volunteer, and even then they're still volunteering doing something.
Lloydminster FCSS provides assistance to seniors through the Seniors Taxi program, and they're hosting an online Resilient Aging webinar tomorrow morning. A Lloydminster man is turning his front yard into an opportunity to help give back to the community.
Just being a good citizen of the community, and it is the season of giving, so a lot of people should have that in mind.
Larry Ireland has turned his front lawn from a fall display into a donation stop to help the Salvation Army food banks, and built a cornucopia and is looking to raise donations of produce, canned and dry goods, along with gift cards which can be used to get other necessities.
Community the businesses I've been to over 60 businesses in town here, and dropped off a pamphlet and saying it was for a food drive for the Salvation Army, and they've all seemed very positive.
The food drive goes until October 8th. You can stop at Larry's lot at Lloydminster Village to donate. In March, when students started learning from home, all school sports ended, which left student athletes wondering if they were going to play at all this school year. And in this week's Beyond the Classroom, we take a look at how the students are competing safely. Last March, when classes got canceled for students around the country, all school sports ended abruptly. And for these two students, that meant their basketball season came to an end early.
That was really disappointing, I think, for all of us because we were just heading to zones and probably going to make provincials, so we were all really upset about that.
Knowing how much this affected students, the staff at Holy Rosary High School wanted to be able to give students the chance to play this school year.
Our seasons are looking very different, so not being able to have games for some or meets for others, but we're trying to do as much as we possibly can to get the kids back out there and playing.
To make sure the students can safely play, there are new rules in place to avoid the spread of COVID-19.
Before any of our athletes come into the gym or go onto the field, they have to fill out a COVID declaration, so saying that they don't have any symptoms, they haven't been in contact with anyone and stuff like that. And then when they come into the gym or onto the field, all of our equipment is sanitized. People are in kind of smaller groups within their teams, and there's designated spots for everyone to put their equipment and their bags and water bottles.
Now, both students are currently in grade 12 and starting their volleyball season. Over the summer, they weren't sure if they were going to get to play again for their senior year.
I was pretty nervous. School without sports is just weird to me since I've been playing sports since grade 8, and it's what makes it fun.
Even with the COVID-19 pandemic, Fullerton mentions that giving the students a place where they can compete, even if it's not in the same capacity as years past, was very important.
Extracurriculars are such a large part of the student life, and we're really lucky to be able to offer at least something for our students, whether that's just a practice season or being able to have some sort of cohorted group playing against each other. But watching the looks on the faces of our grads last year, having their season completely ripped away from them within days, was completely heartbreaking. So it's really nice to be able to have something for our grade 12s this year.
Students and staff hope there's other sports like track and basketball available to play safely later on in the year.
You have goals, and Lakeland College can help you achieve them. Visit lakelandcollege.ca or email hello@lakelandcollege.ca.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather forecast.
Thanks very much, Jasmine. Taking a look at the temperatures right now. A little bit of a cooler day, both windy and also, as we see, we're in single digits right now, sitting at 9 degrees. Is maybe feel like a little bit cooler with that wind chill where we got up to 22 kilometers an hour. We currently right now are in a frost advisory, so we could see temperatures go down to minuses overnight, between that 0 to -7 degrees Celsius overnight tonight, which is not good for farmers out there that are trying to get some crops done. Take a look at some other temperatures around the area. 12 degrees in Vermilion and Vegreville, with 11 in St. Paul and Bonnyville, 9 degrees in Cold Lake, 12 in Provost, and 13 degrees in Macklin. 11 degrees we also see in Maidstone in North Battleford, with 9 also in Meadow Lake and St. Walburg and Isle La Crosse. So here's a look at the school day forecast for tomorrow. A very cloudy day expected for us here throughout the day. So around 8 a.m., 1 degree to start the day off there. I did mention we could see some minus temperatures, mostly with that wind chill added there. So 5 degrees around recess time, with 8 around lunch, and then 11 degrees will be the daytime high by the time school's out there, around that 3 to 3:30 range there. So as we take a look at temperatures overnight, North Battleford, we will see -2 degrees there for them, with a little bit of cloud coverage going into tomorrow with that high of 12 degrees for them. Taking a look into Cold Lake, 1 degree overnight tonight for them, and then 11 degrees tomorrow with some showers expected, with some winds coming in from that south and southeast areas at 15 kilometers an hour. Now as we look for us tomorrow, we could see 0 overnight, but then with that added wind chill, could be a little bit cooler than that, more like between that -4 to -7 range as well. And then 12 degrees tomorrow for the daytime high, with some cloud coverage expected there. So here's what we could see over the next 3 days as we get ready for the weekend here. 15 degrees on Fridays. We should get some more sun back, and maybe a little bit warmer temperatures coming our way there. And as we look into Saturday, a little bit clearer skies there with that high of 16 and low of 2 degrees there. But that is a first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
After the 2020 CPCA season was canceled, drivers were faced with a tough summer. Now to add to that, 2021 could see less chuck wagon money than in the past. Evan Kenny reports.
2020 has been a hard year on everyone, and members of the CPCA are no exception. Back on May 1st, the 2020 CPCA season was canceled. This left drivers optimistic for the 2021 season, or rather, they were optimistic up until news last week.
The world's largest rodeo, the Calgary Stampede, will be short 9 drivers from the 2019 competition.
Calgary Stampede just is reducing their numbers in 2021 to 27 drivers instead of the original 36 that they normally have.
The switch from 3 wagons per heat to 4 is the first time 36 wagons will not be used in the past 40 years. In past years, the CPCA has sent up to 11 drivers to the Stampede. The overall drop will greatly affect them.
As a driver and a fan of the sport, I find it more exciting to watch 4 wagons for sure. But I'm not. That's, to me, that's not the big things to worry about in myself. Mathematically, it is safer. So if that's one of the reasons they're doing it, it does make sense. But there's a whole lot of other things too that a guy could invest in to making the sport safer too, right?
To make matters worse, starting in 2022, no CPCA drivers will partake in the Calgary Stampede. That is over $1 million in potential purse money drawn away.
Wagon drivers rely on sponsorship for their to get down the road and take care of their animals all year long, right? So Calgary Stampede is one of the big shows for sponsorship, right? I mean. And just with them cutting down to 27 drivers, your 9 drivers right there are having to find different ways to figure out how they're going to get that income that they normally did, right?
The 3-driver decision was made to create more space on the track, while the decision to exclude CPCA drivers was made to uniform rules. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather forecast.
Thanks very much, Jasmine. Taking a look right now, still sitting at that 9 to 10 degree mark right now. We did have a fairly windy day, nothing compared to what we saw yesterday, but it's more so that wind chill kind of affecting temperatures a little bit, so it feels a little bit cooler than 10 degrees right now. 14 as we move out west into Edmonton, with 14 also in Red Deer, Rocky Mountain House, and in Whitecourt. 15 degrees in Edson and 18 degrees in Jasper, 12 degrees in Athabasca. 10 we also see in North Battleford and Prince Albert. 12 degrees for Saskatoon, and then 9 degrees in Meadow Lake and in Melfort right now. Moving up in the northern areas, especially in Saskatchewan, we do see a lot of single digits. First time I think in a long time that we actually see single digits in every area here, as we see 7s in Uranium City, La Loche, and Buffalo Narrows, 6 degrees in Stony Rapids, Flin Flon, and South End, and 4 degrees out in Wollaston Lake. Over in the northern Alberta side, a little bit warmer in some areas like Grand Prairie, sitting at 16 right now, with 11 in Slave Lake, and then 14 degrees in Peace River, with 9 in Fort McMurray and 7 in Fort Chipewyan. Now, as we take a look at some southern temperatures right now, a little bit warmer still as well. 15 we see in Lethbridge, and 16 degrees in Medicine Hat. We see 14 degrees in Calgary right now, 16 also for Banff, and then 13 degrees in Coronation. 12 degrees right now for Swift Current and in Moose Jaw, and then we see 10 degrees out in Regina and Estevan, with 8 degrees in Yorkton, and then 13 in Kindersley. Now, as we look across the rest of the country, we see some areas, of course, in that mid-range there of teens, with Winnipeg sitting at 11 right now, 13 in both Quebec City and Toronto, all with some cloud coverage there. We see a little bit warmer temperatures out in St. John's and Halifax, both sitting over 20 degrees right now at 21. We see Halifax have a little bit of showers, and of course, St. John is getting ready for the evening right now. Clear skies in Edmonton, though, right now with that high of 14. Vancouver at 20 degrees right now with some cloud and sun mix there. Yellowknife experiencing some showers, and 12 degrees up in Whitehorse. Now here's what we could see for tomorrow, kind of similar temperatures. We are currently in a frost advisory warning, so it could mean we could see minus temperatures overnight around maybe that 0 to 7 degree Celsius range there. So we could see some frost early morning tomorrow as you make your commute to work there. So 12 degrees tomorrow for us is the daytime high, as well as in Maidstone and Marwayne. Vermilion also sitting at 14 degrees tomorrow, with 16 in Vegreville and 18 in Edmonton. 12 degrees also in Bonnyville and 11 in Pearceland and Cold Lake as well. Provo sitting at 15 with Macklin at 14, and then we see 12 also in North Battleford as well. They're going to have a minus 2 degree high overnight tonight for North Battleford. But as we take a look at the next 7 days here, we are going to be back to some warmer temperatures on the weekend into early next week there, but 15 degrees on Friday, 16 on Saturday with a little bit more sun expected there. A little bit warmer on Sunday with that high of 18 degrees. Then we see more of a warmer day in morning on Monday with that low of 7 and that high of 19 degrees with more sun expected. Same on Tuesday as well, but just a high of 17 degrees, then a high of 15 on Wednesday and a low of 6 there. So we're still well above averages for our daytime lows, and we're kind of around the ballpark for our average highs. That's a look at your 7-day forecast for now. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
I'm speaking with Alex Wilson and Amanda Williams with United Way. How are you both today?
We're great. Thanks so much for having us online. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Can you give me a better understanding of what United Way Lloydminster and District Organization is all about?
Yeah, so we are an organization. We've been in the community of Lloydminster for a decent period of time. And we really, as United Way, we serve as basically the vehicle where corporations can use us to donate funds throughout and distribute throughout our community. We have a allocated district, which is not only Lloydminster, but Amanda will be able to get the list of the communities we serve, but it's Lloydminster and several outlying other communities within our region where we distribute funds and do our best to help our communities and those in need.
So coming up on October 7th, there is Breakfast Day with United Way. This is an event that helps raise funds for the community?
Yeah, so United Way Breakfast Day has been going on for a number of years. And essentially it's one of our big fundraisers where we raise funds. So we sell breakfast sandwiches for $5 each, and all the proceeds of that go towards supporting programs and services in our community from other organizations that we support. Being a bit of a unique nonprofit, we support other nonprofits and registered charities in the city. So just to name a few, the Olive Tree, Lloydminster Rescue Squad, Labus, Lloyd Sexual Assault are just among some of the ones that we've supported. There are so many great causes out there, and just being able to give back to all of them is kind of what we're here for. So.
And residents can access the form to order these breakfast sandwiches on your website?
Yes, yeah, so it's available on our website there for download, and it can just be filled in and sent to our admin at lloydminster.unitedway.ca email address.
Yep, and that website is lloydminster.unitedway.ca.
And when is the deadline that people can have for ordering these breakfast sandwiches?
So the deadline is Friday, October the 2nd, to have your order forms in, and then delivery will be the following Wednesday. Anytime in the morning between 7:30 and 9:30.
Perfect. And how long has United Way been a part of the Lloydminster and District community?
So United Way Lloydminster and District has been around since 1967, I believe, is when we were first started. It was long before I joined, but just going back and reading some of the previous things that we've been able to help with in the community it's been so great.
And have residents shown lots of support towards breakfast orders for this event already?
It's been astounding. The amount of support we've already received. We're really really excited about it because obviously with the COVID-19 crisis and all the other things that are kind of compounding within our city, we understand that times are tough, but it's so really humbling to see the amount of not only the number of sandwiches that we've been donated, people requesting, but the amount of donations we've actually received above and beyond that. It's a tremendous outpouring of support, and it's revalidation of, I believe, of the work that we're doing within Lloydminster.
And how much donations has United Way raised so far for 2020 especially?
So for 2020, we're really proud to say this has probably been a record-breaking year for us. To date, we have distributed over $322,000 within Lloydminster, and that number is growing. This Breakfast Day fundraiser will obviously help us to continue the work we're doing within the community, and we also have some additional funds rolling in.
Perfect. And what other ways can people help support this organization other than ordering for Breakfast Day?
So definitely, we're always looking for volunteers. If somebody wants to help us volunteer for one of our events, which obviously due to the pandemic, we don't have many of at the moment, but definitely we keep a folder with potential volunteers. So they can get in touch with our office, either via email or our phone number. And then another way that they can help is if they are looking at just wanting to donate, we have a platform on our website where people can go to donate via Canada Helps. So those are a couple options as well.
And is there anything else you'd want to add for residents to know about in this time?
We're always open to further ideas, further assistance for volunteers, but we currently, over this past year, we've been able to support roughly 20 to 25 organizations, but we're always looking for more and more vehicles, more ideas, more ways to really be able to help people in any way or capacity possible.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Alex and Amanda.
Yeah, thanks for
having us.
I'm happy to be joined on Primetime Local News today by Derry Graham from Honeymoon Suite. Derry, thanks for speaking with us today.
Hey, how are you, Stacy? Good talking with you.
Yeah, it's a weird time, and especially a weird time for you as a musician. Normally, Honeymoon Suite would be out touring and, having all kinds of fun, especially throughout the summer, but that's been different. So before we kind of get into what's happening now, how were things in the summer for you and not really being able to tour?
It was really strange not just being at home all this time. The summer seemed to fly right by, but yeah, very strange. I rode my bike a lot. The weather was gorgeous, and the rest of the time I'm in this room here, and I'm playing a lot of guitar and writing songs and writing more stuff for the new album. But it's kind of strange for everybody when you think of all the musicians and roadies and everybody who can't work at all. You have to kind of set a schedule for yourself every day, or you might start getting a little depressed or anxious. Keep a positive outlook, and I can just play guitar all day, so I'm okay.
Well, let's talk about the new single from Honeymoon Suite. It's doing really well. You released it, I guess it's been a little while back now, but Find What You're Looking For is the name of it. Tell me a little bit about the writing process and how it all came together.
Well, we have been working on a new Honeymoon Suite album for about the past year and a bit. We started it in Nashville, and a producer about 6 months ago or so, 8 months ago, decided to move to the UK. So continue working on it. Johnny and I made several trips over there, doing overdubs and whatnot. And it is sounding really killer. It's probably 90% done, and it would be done and out now if it wasn't for COVID, because it couldn't go anywhere. So in the meantime, we had enough tracks in it. We mixed 2 songs, released a single last fall, and then we released Find What You're Looking For in, I think, June of this year, which was really cool that we can premiere the songs and get some advanced radio airplay and action in anticipation of the record whenever that comes out. But the coolest thing was to have come out on Canadian radio and chart for the first time for our band in probably, I think people were saying like 18 years, because radio's changed so much for groups like us and stations playing new music. We were really happy about that. And, we got up into the high 20s, and 23. People love the song. And to be on the radio again, like the old days, I mean, it's such a good omen, because the rest of the record is going to be even probably better than that. Now, the writing process, back to your question, your story, that was an old song, and it was originally called It Could Be Right, and I wrote that probably 2-3 years ago. We brought it in the studio, and our producer, Mike Crumpus, is a killer producer and a songwriter and multi-talented guy. So he loved the verse of the song, but wasn't crazy about the chorus. Thought it was a bit dated. So the three of us kind of just sat down and woodshedded on the song and wrote the chorus in England, actually. And it was a perfect example of a co-write, Mike just bringing the song kind of made it more contemporary, and it's amazing what we did, and I think it turned out to be a very cool song. It's Honeymoon Suite, classic Honeymoon Suite, but it's still contemporary sounding.
Well, once the album all is out and everything has come together, do you think you might be able to tour on some small scale to start things out, or will you maybe be looking to do some things online, or have you been able to kind of plan that far ahead yet?
Well, we've done a couple of things online. I think we did Burning in Love, and Johnny and I did an acoustic thing of New Girl now and Face to Face. So we've done a couple of virtual performances just to keep the fans happy and keep them engaged. But it's just not the same as going out on the road. Will we play live again? God, I'm ready to go today. I'm planning to go somewhere, but it just doesn't make any sense out there with our kind of band to do shows. But we're keeping our ears open, and if something comes up that makes sense with a smaller crowd, we'll take a look at it, because we're all itching to play, but we want to do it safely,
Yeah, it's definitely a dilemma for, as you said, every artist now who's used to going out, and especially for you guys. You have so many fans from different age groups now. You've got the classic fans, and now some of their kids, and now you've got the new music that's you've exposed people to. Are you finding things like Spotify and iTunes, has it been very helpful for you, or is it strange having to put out music that way as compared to putting out, regular hard albums and CDs and that sort of thing?
Well, what are you going to do? There's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. I mean, music is pretty much free these days. So the business has changed, and you either, sit around and complain, or you move with it, use it to your advantage. And to me, getting new music out and getting it exposed is more important than, trying to monetize it, because you can't sell CDs right now anymore. So Spotify is great. It's just the way it is now. So our music's out there. I think last time I checked, we had over 1.5 million spins of New Girl now. So that's pretty cool when you see those kind of numbers, and the new music, and then people can purchase it, of course, too, on iTunes and whatnot. So it's it's the way it is. It doesn't. You've got to make new music, get it out there.
Well, Derry, if anybody would like information and the best way to follow you guys to see when the album is going to come out and to listen to the latest single, and even go back and look at your past videos and songs, what's the best way for them to keep up with you?
Oh, well, all the platforms. We're really active on Facebook Live, Honeymoon Facebook Live, Honeymoon Suite Facebook Live, whatever it is. You just go on Facebook, you'll find it. We're pretty active there, and on Instagram we have a YouTube channel with the videos and stuff on it. honeymoonsuite.com, we've got all our videos, old and new, on there. And that's where you're going to find the music. We're on Spotify too, so all the platforms, we're on it.
All right, well, thanks so much for chatting with us today, Derry. It was nice to catch up with you and listen to the new music, a single, and it's just awesome. And I've been a fan ever since I was a teenager, which I guess is really aging me as well. But we look forward to the album, and thanks again for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yeah, it was great talking to you again, and you have a great day, and we hope we see everybody sooner than later.
Thanks so much, Derry.
All right, thank you.
All right, taking one last look here at your weather forecast. 12 degrees tomorrow, 15 on Friday with some cloud coverage there, 16 on Saturday, 18 on Sunday as we start to warm up a little bit more. Then we have a nice 19 degrees on Monday, and then 17 on Tuesday there, with 15 degrees on Wednesday with a little bit more sun and cloud mix there, averaging around 14 degrees for our daytime high and averaging around 1 for our daytime low. So we're above averages for our daytime low and above and kind of mid-range for our daytime highs. We are in a frost advisory right now, so we could see temperatures overnight tonight drop down to -4 degrees Celsius. So that's something that we could start to see, as we, of course, that could affect many crops out there for all the farmers that are doing harvest right now. But we are going to get a little bit cooler as we start getting to the morning, and then by next week we should have a little bit more of warmer mornings.
Thanks for joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.